So you've got a cruise booked, but now what? We've got some valuable information for first time cruisers, or maybe if you haven't cruised in a while. And that's coming up this week on the Oceaneers Travel Show. Hey.
Welcome to the Oceaneers Travel Show.
Hey guys, welcome in. How's everybody doing this week?
I was on mute.
Were you on mute?
You finally figured out a way to shut me up.
Wow, you guys.
She's been trying that for years. Finally figured it out.
This has been a day of epiphanies.
So how are you?
I'm good.
I'm great. So you said you got some stuff for us this week.
Yeah. I thought, we could just sit down and have a good discussion about some information that people might not know. Cruising is such a fun thing, but if you don't know going in what you're getting yourself into, it can be a little overwhelming.
I know nothing. That's why I say, hey, Robin, do this.
You say, Robin, do this. I take care of all of it, so you don't have to. But I enjoy planning. I'm a planner. That's why I'm a cruise planner.
And I don't.
And you like to go, what is it, fly by the seat of your pants?
Absolutely.
So how's everybody doing out there? Anybody got anything going on? Let us know in the comments below.
Well, we have been busy.
We are such busy people, and sometimes I don't know if I'm going or coming, but that's great.
We're pumping out the videos left and right. Just continue to grow.
We are. We're excited. It's coming up on travel season. We got a lot going on with
travel season for us, not for everybody else. Everybody else's travel season's over.
Within the next few months. We do. We tend to travel a lot in the fall, winter, and spring.
And not so much in the summer.
So much in the summer. So it's kind of quite opposite of what other people do. But, we got a pool in the backyard. So we can do stuff around here during the summer. And, prices are usually cheaper other times of year. So expanding our budget, if you will. Hey, if you guys want to see or hear a podcast all about budgeting and different ideas, hey, hit me up.
Absolutely. But before we get into the main story this week, let's go over a few things. So there's been some news items that since the last time we were on, which feels like it's been forever.
I know. We really haven't covered like a whole lot of news stuff. We've just been kind of dabbling in some other things. And if you're on our socials, you've probably seen us cover like the hideaway at Royal Caribbean's Coco Cay. We've covered D23 over at Disney. We're covering Epic Universe that's being built at Universal. So we're covering a lot of things over on our YouTube channel. So if you're not a member or subscribe to our YouTube channel, you're really missing out.
So we just don't want to duplicate the same things here on the travel show. So we're gonna again, as always, I've said we've been playing with the format. We're gonna continue to play with the format till we find one.
Get what's right. We want to do something that every week you guys can like be expecting and know what's coming. And if you guys have any, ideas, or please shoot them our way. Or if you want me to dig into some information for you of some things that you'd like to know about, let me know. I'm more than happy to do that.
So what do you want to cover first this week? What's the first news story? And it feels like like forever since we've been on here, so I'm sure that there's a lot that's happened.
Well, the main thing that I want to cover now is Carnival has made an announcement about a new destination. It's a lot that we don't know. There's a lot that we do know. Celebration Key is going to open in July of 2025. On Grand Bahama Island. Now, this is going to be the first ever destination that has been designed just for Carnival guests. So, you think about Carnival's other destinations like the Dominican Republic and, in the Bahamas with Half Moon Cay. Those are not specific to Carnival. This, however, will be specific to Carnival.
So are they going to Coco Cay it up? Are we going to get the pools and the balloons?
I would say you're going to get a lot of things, but Grand Bahama Island is large. So, that's where Freeport is. That's where a lot of ships go for dry dock when they're getting like minor refurbishments done. Freeport has a good set of docks there for that purpose.
So have they bought or leased this?
I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, we're still kind of finding bits and pieces. They have said that it's going to be a private area for Carnival guests exclusively. They're going to have, beach access, water access. There's going to be, water activities. And, I don't know if it's going to turn into a Half Moon Key, Coco Cay type
with a
of
pool and everything else, or
thing. They haven't really released a lot of information, but they have given us some specific information. If you, as the public, would like to be some of the first to know about this, then hit your girl up and I can put you in touch with that.
so. And any idea when is this going to start? You said 2025.
This is not opening until July of 2025.
So there's
we've
plenty of
got
time.
Plenty of time. And you bet yourself, whenever we do get some renderings or some more info, we'll have a video out over on our socials. We can talk about it here with everything that we know. So
I know one news story that dropped since the last time we were on was Disney made a huge announcement that they're going to be investing $60 billion, I believe it was, over
a 10-year
over a
period.
decade.
Which that's just, if you think about it, it's mind blowing, that type of money. I mean, Disney, if you think about everything Disney incorporates, of course they have that type of money. With them.
Well, according to everybody, Disney's in trouble, and Disney's doing the. If you listen to the talk on the internet, and
have you been to Disney lately?
Which is all BS. I mean, let's just again, not a financial expert by any means, but Disney has so many assets.
Yes,
and their stock is so under leveraged.
Ooh,
that they could issue so many more shares of stock without taking a huge hit. I mean,
that's true.
Disney is in no danger of going out of business anytime soon, and there are segments of Disney that is doing fantastic. Certain segments are not doing well, but that's also just an overall theme everywhere. There's a lot of
Disney diversified itself a long time ago when they got, with the purchase of the Star Wars, and then they, did the Marvel thing, and then with this whole, ABC, ESPN kind of thing, with Comcast and the Hulu and
everything.
There's just so much that they're doing.
They own so much that
you really don't think about it, but this $60 billion over 10 years, obviously that's going to include all of the cruise stuff that's coming, which we know
is a lot of ships.
They're basically doubling their fleet over the next 4 or 5 years.
Disney Cruise Line is you don't have to worry about them doing well. They're killing
sailing out every sailing, and so you're spending double, triple what you would pay for some other.
Yeah, Disney Cruise Line is at least double what a Carnival or Royal Caribbean is.
Yeah,
and they're filling up every single time.
They sure are.
So Disney Cruise Line is in no danger.
No, but we've also heard about. We know that, over in Animal Kingdom in Walt Disney World in Orlando, we know that they're redoing some stuff there. Bringing in a Zootopia land, redoing the dino ride. So that all falls into this as well.
What I've heard is that Zootopia is, and we went over this in our D23 video, but to touch on it again, Zootopia is going to be taking over the Tree of Life theater, turning that into a Zootopia show.
A show.
Yes, I have not heard anything about the Zootopia land, which I believe is it's either Tokyo or Hong Kong. They did build a Zootopia land.
Yes.
Nothing about that coming here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Per se. Plus, where would they put it?
Some Encanto stuff, some...
That's one of the things that's kind of been in flux. They've talked about Kanto and Coco.
Yeah, that's what it was, Coco.
They've talked about both of those at both Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. And I don't think that they've made up their mind exactly where.
Who's going to go where?
If I was a betting person, just from what I have seen and heard, and again, I have no inside information, I feel like that the dinosaur ride is going to be replaced by the Indiana Jones. I think that's pretty close to happening.
Well, yeah, it has the exact same track system.
So I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. That's an IP that they already own. Yeah. Makes sense. I feel like where that, what was it? The Whirl, the old...
the Triceratops spin?
No, the old Whirl roller coaster that was there.
Primeval
Whirl. That's the one I'm looking for.
Love that ride.
It was a great ride, but it broke down all the time. But I feel like that's going to be the Encanto.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't need to spend a whole lot of time talking about what we think will happen. We just...
And then, I'm going to anyway, so... And then the Triceratops spin, I believe, is going to become a Coco dinner show.
Oh, a dinner show.
That's what I've heard. Which they just announced that for the Disney Treasure cruise ship.
Disney Treasure, yeah, one of their themed dining.
Something similar to that I could see coming
Yeah,
up.
I could see that happening.
And then at where they originally were talking about putting the Encanto and the Coco at Magic Kingdom, I see that not happening.
Maybe.
So,
I
I do see the Villains World happening at Magic Kingdom.
I do have a hard time though because they have, they have announced a Mirabelle meet, a Bruno meet at Magic Kingdom. I, there's a lot coming. Okay, we don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Just give me
There's
villains.
talks of Villains Land, which would be absolutely phenomenal.
And I've heard talk of a Haunted Mansion restaurant.
Yeah. You know what we could do?
And that they're talking about turning part of Frontierland into New Orleans.
You know what we could do?
What we could do?
All right, this may be too soon.
Dun, dun, dun.
And those of y'all out there that don't know, but those of y'all that do, this might be funny. Country Bear Jamboree with real bears.
I think we already did that this week. Too soon?
Too soon. Yeah, for those of y'all that don't
Oh,
know,
my Lord.
There was a live bear that got loose in Magic Kingdom. And the people in the park, of course, didn't know because nobody was saying anything for their safety. But half of the park shut down.
Yeah,
It was bizarre.
I didn't even know they had bears in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was crocodiles and alligators. I'm not familiar with
Oh my.
Florida being known for their bear population.
I know. So yeah,
That's us.
a black bear got loose, and
Florida,
they had to tranquilize it and carry it out.
Florida bears belong to Tennessee. Get your own thing.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a crocodile, I would have let it pass. But Florida, stay out of our bear countries.
Anyway, but yeah, lots of stuff coming to the Disney universe. So
that happens here all the time, though.
Oh yeah,
there's been bears
everywhere.
I have had a bear stand up in front of my car at work.
Yeah.
A guy I work with actually had a bear crawl into his work van and steal his lunch.
Yeah. He just got in, got his lunch pail and left.
And took off with it. So yeah, around here, that's pretty common. We don't even freak out about bears.
No. When they get hungry, they come looking.
And you just let them have it and move on.
Yep. They're cute. Just from far away.
Yeah, don't mess with them.
Don't mess with them.
So we weren't going to touch on that, but I'm sure there's been all over social media pictures of bears riding roller coasters and
there's
bear in the Haunted Mansion and
a bear with a hitchhiking ghost and a bear on Big Thunder. There's been bears on Tron. You should see the Tron ride. Somebody photoshopped a bear on Tron.
We'll try to find that and put it here if we can.
Yeah.
So
you guys, it's been a funny week, a crazy week. But yeah.
So we got any more news stories this week?
That's really all the news I wanted to touch on. I don't want to get too, if there was something more pertinent, but we'll cover some other stuff next week.
Okay. So let's get to the main story. Main story is
dun dun dun. Meat and potatoes of it all.
Meat and taters.
Yeah, we got some talking points today about some valuable information that you may need if you're going on a cruise for the first time.
Or if you haven't been in a long time.
Yeah,
a lot's
cruising is
changed.
Especially, kind of post-COVID. Are we ever going to be really post-COVID?
No, I think that's here.
But
that's just what it is now.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot changed as far as technology goes. What you need, what you don't need. Yeah, so we've got some talking points today to kind of ease that burden of what you need to know before you go.
Well, when we first started going, you got a towel animal every night, your room cleaned twice a day, and a mint on your pillow at turn down service. Room service was free at all hours. So yeah, that's how long we've been going.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss the mints on the pillow. That was so nice.
The turn down service and the mints. Now, I don't know.
Now you get cleaned once a week, and if you want food, you better go get it yourself.
Yeah, a lot of cruise lines have started doing one time of day stateroom service.
I kid, that doesn't really bother me too much.
So you do have to kind of choose if you want morning or evening stateroom service. I don't.
That's not really a problem for me. I mean, I don't spend enough. Of course, we're different. We don't spend enough time in our stateroom.
No.
For it to affect us. We do not use the room that much.
No.
Maybe a shower and a nap. That's about it.
We do nap a lot on cruises, surprisingly. And I nap a lot more if I have an interior room. But yeah.
We get up, we go eat, we go to the pool, we come back, we nap and take a shower and go to dinner and then go to the shows and casinos and music and all the festivities at night.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a routine.
First thing you need to do if you've booked a cruise and you've never been or you haven't been in a while is take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. There is a lot of information that you're going to want to know, and it's going to seem overwhelming at first, but it's exciting to figure it out and to learn. You're going to want to download whatever cruise line app that you've chosen. So whether
numero uno.
Whether it's Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Princess, whatever, go and find that cruise line app and download it. That's going to be your number one key. In today's day and age, everybody has a cell phone. Everybody uses apps. Back in the day, and Charles still does this. He gets on a ship, he turns his phone off and throws it in the safe.
I hate it.
Yeah. But nowadays, everything is right on your phone. From your menus at dining room, from what's going on, your calendar for the day. You can check how much money you've spent. You can book shore excursions. You can book spa stuff. You can do everything in the app. So you definitely need that. A lot of times you're going to need that to get on the ship. You can actually have your boarding passes right in the app, which is convenient if you are tech savvy. If you're not, it's okay. You can still print them at home and bring them with you just like you used to could.
Yes.
But the cruise line app is going to be your best friend. Also, go online to your cruise line's website, whether it's Carnival, Princess, Holland America, whatever, and create an account. If you haven't already, by simply booking your cruise, or if you've used a travel agent like me, go and make that account, because that will link as well with your app, and you can seamlessly make reservations and stuff across both, and you can see it, transversely.
Well, so you said numero uno, download the app. I would say numero uno, hire a travel agent. Because then a lot of that you don't even have to worry about. But that's a whole nother story. So,
I can take care of a lot of it for you. There's some things that I absolutely can't do. I can't necessarily create an account for you through a different cruise line. That's going to be personal to you, just like your emails or whatever. But yeah, you're definitely going to want that. Everything's going to be available on these websites, and you're going to want to look at them, take everything in, and be selective on what you want to purchase. And keep in mind that if you happen to purchase something and it goes cheaper, most times you can cancel the first purchase and repurchase it. So that's a good thing to know, because you will have sales that come and go. We're coming up on the holiday season. Black Friday usually is a good time for some deals. So keep in mind, if you're looking for shore excursions, drink packages, etc., dining, all of that will be available in those apps and online on those websites. So
we did just have some breaking news also. Miss Piggy has been removed from the fountain at Hollywood Studios.
What?
Yeah, they've taken Miss Piggy out.
What happened to Miss Piggy?
Well, somebody needed bacon on their burger.
Charles!
Yeah, times are tough.
Oh my goodness. That is just wrong. Don't talk about Miss Piggy that way.
What's wrong? You don't like bacon burgers?
I like bacon. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Sorry, Miss Piggy.
Hang on. Gotta sneeze.
She's gotta sneeze. Bacon! Okay.
That was not a sneeze, because, have you ever needed to sneeze, but once you think about sneezing, you can't actually sneeze?
Sure. Why? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit over here and
Tennessee allergies are a real thing.
drink my.
I have worse allergies in the fall than I do in the spring. It's bizarre.
So anyway, hire a travel agent, download an app,
Yes.
print your boarding documents, sneeze, and enjoy your Miss Piggy burger.
Yes. Now, what you'll want to do when you get your boarding documents, whether you have them electronically on your phone or you want to print them out, take it to the bathroom for some light reading. You want to read it all, because it's going to have a lot of information in there about when you can start boarding the ship, when you have to be on the ship, this, that, and the other, what kind of documents you need, if you need anything specific for your ports of call. Um, just keep in mind that all that stuff is going to be in there. You can also ask your travel agent, and she can or he can clarify that for you. Okay, here's a hot topic: passports and birth certificates. I'm going to clarify it all down for you.
This gets confusing.
It can get confusing. If you want zero confusion without having to think about it, get a passport. They are $150. They're good for 10 years. It's a one-time, well, not a one-time, but an every 10-year investment for your peace of mind.
I recommend never leaving the United States without a passport.
And regardless, yeah, exactly. We always have passports. Our kids have passports.
In the world that we live in now,
yes,
things can become.
Things happen. You never know. And
what if something happened and you did miss your cruise ship? If you've got a U.S. passport, you can go to the consulate, the embassy.
If you have a U.S. passport, yeah, or you can go straight.
You can go straight to the airport and book a flight.
Book a flight and get the heck out of Dodge.
So these are all things that are available to you. If you do not have that U.S. passport,
then you're going to have
it's a whole nother.
Yeah. So
you can travel without it.
Passports are key. However, if you are leaving from and coming back to the same U.S. port, you can travel with a birth certificate and an ID.
So I do not recommend it.
That means if your cruise leaves out of Port Canaveral, comes back to Port Canaveral on a 1-week round trip, all you need is a birth certificate and an ID. Now, your birth certificate needs to be a certified copy. It cannot be just a photocopy or anything like that. It needs to be the certified copy. You can get those at your local health department. They're maybe $5 or $10. They're not much if you don't have one. You'll also have to have that same birth certificate if you want to apply for a passport. So, go ahead and get one, get a couple of copies. It's nice to have some extras just, to have anyway. But yes, you can travel with a passport or with a birth certificate and the ID, not the passport, if you want. However, like Charles said, if you get to any foreign country, the Bahamas are a foreign country. St. Martin is a foreign country. Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Aruba, Curacao, Panama, wherever, Mexico. If you get anywhere and something happens, someone gets sick, you get hurt, you miss the ship, heaven forbid,
COVID.
Yeah. If for any reason you get denied boarding,
a war breaks
you
out.
You decide to try to sneak some ganja back on the ship in Jamaica, whatever. You get kicked off. You're in a foreign country. If you do not have a passport, you are then going to have to jump through hoops. You're going to have to find the U.S. consulate, the whatever in that country, and then you're going to have to be at their mercy so that they can find in fact that you are a citizen and get you a visa to fly back home.
You are just opening yourself up for a whole world of trouble that there's no need to do.
There's no need
for $100 for 10 years. Get a passport.
Peace of mind. Then if anything like that happens, you get off the ship, you go to the airport, you fly back home. Okay?
And note on passports, if you are planning on getting a passport for said cruise, get it early.
I think there's about a 16-week wait time right now.
Yeah, I would recommend 3 to 4 months ahead of time, minimum.
Probably 6 months.
Well, I said minimum.
Yeah.
If you think that you're going to be able to go get your passport 2 weeks before you sail, you are sorely wrong.
There are a couple of places.
This is the government here.
Yeah.
It don't do nothing fast.
There are a couple of places around. I know Atlanta has one. I don't know 100% where any others are. There are 1-day service passports available for a nominal fee. I don't even know what that fee is, but there are a couple of offices around where you can go and get same-day passports.
And that's subject to change, so don't get your hopes up on that.
Don't fall back on that. But yes, please please just get a passport, okay? I don't make anything for suggesting that you get a passport. I just don't want to get a call from you, at midnight when you've had to, debark in
That's something
forever.
that's something we can actually help you with here too. We
Yeah.
we can do a whole video on how to get a passport
We can. Yeah.
and walk you through the process.
But if you get thrown off the ship in Jamaica, I can probably help you find a room in Jamaica, but I can't help you get back home. That's gonna be on you.
And she said, sneak the ganja on the ship. Don't do that.
No.
You will get caught doing it,
Yes, you
and
will.
they will set you out.
Yes. Even like medical marijuana with a prescription, you can't even do.
Not even allowed, not even medical marijuana. Just
CBD, all
don't.
that stuff is a no-no
Just
on cruise ships.
no.
Okay.
Because they will set you out. Don't think that they have to get you home. They will set you on the port and wave at you as they sail away.
They will. They have drug sniffing dogs.
X-ray machines.
Yes.
And you are subject to pat downs upon entering or leaving the cruise. It doesn't happen that often, but they do reserve the right to do it.
They do.
I got a good pat down in Jamaica once.
Yeah, Charles had to turn his head and cough.
It was nice.
All right. Another talking point is remain on your ship's time. So that means that someone in your immediate group needs to wear a watch. It can be an electronic Apple Watch. Just when you get on the ship, make sure you put it in airplane mode so that it doesn't change time through the different time zones.
And make sure it's charged when you get off the ship.
Yeah.
Dead watch doesn't help.
Right. Some cruise lines will stay on the time that it is when they leave port. So whether it's Eastern, Central Time, if you're overseas, whatever time it is, they will stay on that time regardless of where you go. Some cruise lines will change every night with the time zone if they cross into different time zones. That information will be found in your cruise information night to night on your phone, in your daily planners, or if you still get them in your room, the captain or cruise director will probably make an announcement about that as well. When you come into a port of call, you are going to get specific information about when you can leave the ship and when you are expected to be back on the ship. Okay. That is in ship's time, not local time, ship's time. Now, ship and local may end up being the same time, but you want to make sure that you're always on ship time. So that's where that watch comes in handy. Make sure before you go ashore, your watch, if you have a smartwatch, airplane mode. The correct time matches what it is on the ship. Go ashore. They're going to say be back on board at 3:30. You want to make sure you're back on board.
So why airplane mode? Let's address that too.
Airplane mode prevents you from tapping into the cell towers that are on land, wherever you may be. And it's going to automatically change your time to that time zone, wherever you are. So if you've happened to cross into Central or a different time zone, your phone, your watch, everything is going to change automatically into that time zone. You don't want that to happen if you want to be on ship's time.
Not only that, but roaming charges.
Yes.
They'll break the bank.
If you do not have an international plan, then yes, you definitely want to put everything in airplane mode to not incur those charges.
So just FYI.
But yes, if you want to see what happens if you miss the ship, please go online and type in pier runner videos and you will see people will be standing outside on their balconies and just waiting for people to come running, and then it'll be,
People are so cruel.
Yeah. I've been guilty of that a time or two. Can't say.
So cruel. And even better than that is the drunk pier runners is even more fun than that.
That guy that ran out of his flip-flops and like planted face first.
Or what about the one with the lady who tried to throw her phone up to her other family that was on the boat? That didn't work. Brand new iPhone in the water.
In the water. All right. Another thing we need to talk about, these little bad boys. When you get on a ship, you are going to get a card of some kind. This is going to be kind of your key to everything on your cruise. You are going to have to set up a payment of, credit card, some type of payment that will be loaded onto these cards. These cards serve as your room key, your charging capabilities on board. So if you need to buy anything, as well as any reservations that you have already made. It's also going to enable you to get on and off the ship.
Once you get on board, you need nothing but those cards.
But these cards.
And they are called different things from different cruise lines, have different names for them.
Right. You got a sea pass, selling sign.
It varies by cruise line, but they're all the same thing.
They're all the same thing. They look like a credit card. They've got little swipes on the back. They've got these barcodes. But basically, when you get on and off the ship, they just scan these and it pulls up your name, your picture. And that way they have an account of everyone that's on and off the ship.
Another good thing, you can get holes punched in these, as these have, put on lanyards around your neck so you don't have to carry them in your pockets. Easy to access. Another good thing about these is for people like me who can never remember where your room is until the last day of the sailing.
Yeah.
It's got your room number on it, so you can find your room or ask somebody where your room is, because I am not good at navigating these ships. I don't figure it out until the very last day, except for knowing where the pizza place is. I figure that out really early. But other than that, no clue where I'm going.
They will also have on them, and both of these, this is a Carnival, this is a Royal Caribbean. They've also got on there where your dining room is. So if you have a set dining time, it'll have what deck you'll need to go to and also what table number. So that way, when you go in, anyone can tell you where you need to go sit. So that's a good thing to have.
It's got a lot of information on these cards. And if you do not want to use a credit card, that's not a problem. You can go down and deposit cash at the customer service desk. They will assign that limit. Or if you have a kid with you that you want to set a spending limit,
you can do that as well.
All of that can be done, because even kids will get one of these cards. Everybody on board gets a card. But you can set a spending limit on your kid and decide what they can and cannot use it for.
Correct.
And you can up and down it, revoke it, whatever you need to do at any time.
And also, parents, you don't have to worry about your kid, being able to say purchase alcoholic beverages, because
it is 21 on every cruise.
Yeah, because if you're in the U.S.,
it may be different overseas.
When you sign up and when you get these, every time they scan, they will see your kid's face and it will have a red stripe across it that says under 21. So they will not be able to serve them once they scan that ticket. That's it on that. So just be aware that you will have these little cards that you're going to have to keep up with.
They make it a whole lot easier, though, than carrying around a wallet all week.
They do.
You can take them, if you got them on a lanyard or anything, you can take them in the pool. It won't hurt them. So you can keep it on you while you swim. You don't have to worry about leaving it on your chair.
Lanyards, you can clip through the hole, or they've got the ones that you got
plastic
pocket you can sit it down in. But they're all credit card size. So,
and some of the newer cruise lines, on that note, she said that those work as your room keys and some other things. Some of the new cruise lines have like the magic bands, like you get at Disney.
Yeah,
those work the same. You can purchase with those or enter your room with those. Those replace the sailing sign or card on some cruise lines. Yes. Not available on every cruise line at this point.
Not every cruise line, but like Princess has the medallion. If you're familiar with that, that gives you a lot of same privileges. You can you'll get this little medallion you can wear on a bracelet. You can put it on a keychain, and that kind of does the same thing.
Very much. It's like a magic band.
And then Disney, of course, you can use magic bands on the cruise ships. Not all cruise ships, because they aren't all fitted for them. But definitely the newer ones, you will have that capability. Royal has WOW bands that you can use.
This is coming. This is eventually going to be on all cruise lines everywhere. It's just a matter of time. I'm a big fan of it. The bracelets are way more convenient than even the cards.
They are. I mean, they're
fine.
They're fine. But if you're not used to carrying these around, I mean, we're 25 cruises in. This is nothing for us to remember anymore. But your first cruise, you're going to forget this a time or two. Now, it's not hard. You can just tell them, hey, I'm in room 7420, and they'll be able to pull
And
you
if you
up and
lose
see
it,
your
they can
picture.
reprint one for you. It's
Yes, they
not a big
can.
deal.
But
So don't panic.
it can be a pain sometimes if you're not used to
Where
it.
the bracelets are much easier. So I do believe that eventually everything will be on the bracelets.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right, all right, moving on.
We're going to talk a couple of things now that cost extra that you need to plan for if it's something you're looking forward to, and just just some general information about these topics. The first thing is gratuities. Every cruise line has a daily gratuity per person that's going to be automatically charged to your
Unless
account unless you prepay them. Um,
or you go on what Regents 7 Seas, I believe,
well,
does not
yeah,
have them.
some cruise lines include everything in one price, but those are going to be your ritzier, top tier,
Very expensive cruise lines.
multiple thousands of dollars.
And those cruise lines, when you get on board, you really don't pay for anything
No.
else. Your excursions and everything are included, but you're going to pay for it up front, so you're not getting it for free.
Your normal other cruise lines, your Carnivals, Royal Caribbean, Princess, blah blah blah. You're going to have a gratuity charge per day. You can prepay these. Just talk to your travel agent or your travel advisor, and they can apply those to your account. They are anywhere between $14 and $16 up to $20 per person per day, depending on the type of stateroom that you have and for the length of your sailing. So if it's a 4-day sailing, you're going to have 4 separate charges. A lot of people don't think to prepay these because it's not an automatic thing that comes up to be prepaid. And then when you get on board, you see, oh, I have a $64 charged to my card. What is that all about? But it's your gratuities. So
Prepare for that.
Prepare for that. Gratuities go toward your stateroom steward, your dining room staff, and a few other miscellaneous people around the ship, but heavily on those 2 areas. You can
But
go.
wait, Robin, what if I don't ever eat in the dining room?
Yeah.
What if I go to the Windjammer every night and never once step foot in the main dining room? Tell me, Robin. Tell me more.
These gratuities
I'm waiting.
still help out your Windjammer people. But if you are just completely against paying these automatic gratuities, you can go to guest services and have them removed. Don't come for me. It can be done. You don't have to do it. It's your preference. This is a hot topic in the social community, but you can have them removed and tip cash at your leisure. A good rule of thumb for us, we kind of go in when we start and we give our stateroom steward $20 when we first meet him because I want ice and I want extra pillows. And I figure it's a better way for me to try to get those if I'm tipping him up front. Now, we don't always stop there. We'll tip him, some more throughout. It just depends on what kind of service he provides.
We usually end up.
We tip above and beyond, but
we usually prepay our gratuities.
Yes.
In addition to that, we usually add $20 a day for our stateroom attendant.
Yes.
Because we do not go to the main dining room every day.
No.
We hit miss. There's been cruises where we have went every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's also been cruises where we went once the whole cruise.
But we also will take time out to tip other people throughout the ship that have made our
more enjoyable.
Our cruise more enjoyable.
You'll find your bartender on the pool deck that you like.
Yeah.
And he'll take care of you.
We've even tipped people in the kids center because our daughter has really taken a liking to them or they've done something special for them. So we'll tip them. We tipped the activities lady once because she was just freaking phenomenal.
Absolutely.
So there's no rule to how much you can tip and there's no rule to how little you can tip. It's just they have a suggested prepaid gratuity amount or a gratuity charge that'll charge every day to your room.
So if you're fine with that and that's all you want to tip, that's okay. Leave it at that. Don't do any more.
Prepay them and it's out of sight, out of mind.
And then if you do want to tip more, do. Or if you feel like that you did not get the service that you deserve, this is gratuity.
Yes.
I will never tell somebody not to tip someone, but if you just got lousy service, It's never happened to me on a cruise where it's just been completely lousy service.
No.
But if it does happen, you can adjust your
You
gratuities.
can.
Not a popular topic. People don't want to talk about it, but it's a fact of it's just there.
Another thing on most cruise lines that are not included, I say most, is your alcohol. That's where going into your app, going online to these websites for these specific cruise lines, you can find packages for alcohol.
And there's a
Um,
lot going on there.
yes. You're going to need to read the fine print. I know on Carnival, they have a limit of how many, you know, alcoholic beverages you can buy in a day. Royal Caribbean's is unlimited. Um, so you just need to read the fine print and find out what's best for you. These are going to be from 40 to 50 to $100+ per day per person,
And
just for alcohol. And keep in mind,
it's
if you
per stateroom.
are in a stateroom with another person that's 21 and over, they are going to be required to purchase the package as well. You can get around that and buy a non-alcoholic package, but you still have to buy a package, and that has to be called in usually. But there's no sharing, so that kind of helps negate that issue.
And we've had the questions come up. Well, what if my wife is pregnant and she can't drink right now? Or what if I'm in recovery and and I have a doctor's note? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
They're still going to charge you.
Eh, you can get a lower tiered package. You have to call for that. They will take it on a case by case basis. But if you go into those cruise planners and you sign up for one person to purchase the alcoholic package, it's going to automatically put that second person in and charge you both.
So do the research up front is very critical
Yes.
on the alcohol and drink packages.
Most of the time when you're on a cruise ship, beers are going to be $7 to $9 a pop, and
So it
then
depends on how much you drink.
your mixed drinks are going to be probably anywhere from $8 to $15. Glasses of wine are kind of the same vein.
And
So
you go through it a lot faster than you think
you do. So that $100 a day might seem steep, but if you drink 10 drinks, you're there.
And you're spending a lot of time being leisure.
Hmm.
So 10 drinks really ain't that much over a 24-hour period.
No, it's not. Another thing to think about for extra money is shore excursions. These will also be found in the app and on your cruise line website. You can peruse and see what kind of offerings they have at your destinations and ports of call. One good thing about using a excursion from your ship is they are guaranteed to get you back to the ship on time.
Ding, ding, ding,
Ding, ding,
ding.
ding. They are not always the most cost effective. They are not always the best excursion, but for peace of mind, you are always going to get back to the ship on time.
The ship will not leave if you are late.
If you are on a Carnival excursion or a Royal Caribbean excursion, they will wait for you.
Or get you to the next port of call.
Or they will get you to your next destination. If you choose to do a third party or something outside of the cruise ship, you obviously can. You just need to make sure that the time constraints fall within your port of call time, and see if they have any guarantees themselves.
Also, keep in mind, in some countries, the threat level is higher. If you're booked through the cruise, these places have been vetted, they have been trained, they are part of the company. If you book through an outside source, they have not been vetted by the cruise line. So you do take all risk upon yourself.
Yes.
So if it's just you and you're wanting to do it, that's fine. If you're with a kid, I think I would probably take the safer approach, but I'm a little more conservative when it comes to that type of stuff.
We've done both.
But usually it's just us when we've done outside.
We've done, ship tours, we've done non-ship tours, and we've had good success with both.
Absolutely.
I remember one time we were in St. Martin, and it was probably the busiest I've ever seen St. Martin. There were 9 ships there, and we had booked a third party through Bernard's Tours. And Bernard's excellent. If you ever go to St. Martin, you want to tour the island, Bernard's Tours is top notch. And they do have a stipulation on there that they will get you to your ship no matter what, whether it's the next port of call. And they have a reputation for doing that. So we felt really comfortable. Well, by the time we took our tour and had gotten around to the other side of the island it was gridlocked with people trying to get back to the ship. We're talking like we're not even what, maybe 10 miles away,
And it took us forever.
and we couldn't get anywhere. There was no going forward. So our driver started to panic because we had to be back in less than an hour. And he just did a U-turn and we drove all the way back around the entire island, the opposite direction of everyone else, so that we could get back on
And
time.
it turned out when we got there that all the short tours that were booked through the cruise didn't make it back either. So we had plenty of time.
Yeah, the ships waited. All the ships had to wait because of the island. I mean, at that point, the amount of cruise ship passengers
Is
more than doubled the actual
normal population. Yeah.
on that island. So it was pretty crazy.
But yeah, you can book either way, and both are there's pluses and minuses to both. Just again, do your research.
Yes.
Research.
Always.
It seems to be a running theme here. Research, research, research. Use your travel agent.
Yes.
Research. They know this stuff.
We've made a lot of videos as far as, different things to do, ports of call and stuff like that, what not to do, what mistakes not to make. But I can also point you in the right direction. There are a wealth of information out there and videos to watch.
And all that's free.
Speaking of videos to watch,
head over to Oceaneers Travel. Watch their videos. There's some wonderful
there's
information.
some really good dudes over there
What?
at Oceaneers.
And the guy's really sexy.
Oh, yeah. Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
He's a silver fox. Yeah.
He's a silver fox. Speaking of videos,
moving on.
you want to get to know your ship. I mentioned this, I think, in another episode, but don't skip out on getting to know your ship. Some of these ships now are so huge, and you don't want to be spending 5 days figuring out your way around.
Whoa. Just do what I do. Hey, Robin, where's this?
Find the pizza.
No, just do what I do. Hey, honey, where are we going? Hey, honey, where's this room? Hey, honey. Then I don't have to get to know them at all. It's really convenient.
That way, where your hubs are, where the things are that you're most gonna, want. The kids club, the pool deck, the buffet, the important stuff. And also plan early. The earlier you plan, usually the cheaper rates. You're also going to be able to make payments. You can make a payment on a cruise up until 90 days before you go, which is fantastic. So if you put down that deposit a year and a half in advance, you've got a year to make the payments and pay it off, which is great.
If you're a planner who plans your vacation out in advance, which we are, and I recommend you being, plan your cruises and have multiples booked at a time. Pay one off and then turn around and then you can include it in your normal monthly budget, just like a regular payment, and you're always paying on one. So then you don't have this big out of pocket cost at one time.
Yeah, like a balloon payment.
Yeah.
Another thing is to arrive early.
Same thing with Disney. Do the Disney the same.
Arrive early, especially for a cruise. I suggest getting there the day before, if not before.
More so now than ever.
Travel nightmares are abundant right now. It is just stupid how crazy things are.
Planes delayed.
Just today,
baggage lost.
I was speaking to someone that had, they were traveling to a destination and they got delayed. And instead of just booking a different flight, they brought in a plane that was smaller. And so half of the people on that plane just got kicked off. So then the next plane was not for like 3 or 4 hours later. So, that was a little bit hectic for them. I've seen some people had to abandon their luggage at the airport because they were at risk of missing the ship. You don't want to be that person.
And not just abandon, but say that you fly in the morning of and your baggage is lost by the airport. If you're there the day before, there is a chance that you can still get that delivered to your hotel before you leave the next day. If you arrive the day of, the odds...
Yeah, you might see your luggage before you get back to your port, and your cruise line may be able to find it and help you, but it's not guaranteed. Yeah. So you may be...
Prepare for the worst and then be pleasantly surprised.
But it's always good to just go a day before. That way, any travel headaches that may arise, you have some cushion time to deal with it.
It never fails. Every cruise that I've ever been on, We are getting ready to sail away, and the captain is calling somebody's names. Miss Smith, please report to the customer service desk if you are on board. Miss, every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they get ready to leave, if they can wait, they will extend it a little bit, but there's no guarantee that they will do that.
Right. I remember on one specific ship, we had asked for a room change because our room, I was pregnant, I was miserable, and our room had some noise issues. And I didn't know this beforehand, but we had asked for a different cabin. And they said, "I'm sorry, we're fully booked. We cannot accommodate you." They said, "But if you'll check back after sail away, we may have something for you." So we went after sail away, and there was a list of all these people that didn't make the ship. And
It
so we were
happens.
able to get a different cabin that had been for somebody else. We go in and there's stuff with their name on it. And but hey,
But these people apparently had cruised a lot because there was cookies in the room, and I like cookies.
we got some cookie.
I like cookies.
And
So I ate Miss Cookies.
last and bit of
I ate
info
Miss Cookie.
is to not skip
Wait,
out
what?
on travel insurance.
What?
Not travel cookies.
Travel cookies.
Travel
Don't
cookies.
skip out on travel cookies.
Don't skip out on travel insurance. Like we said before, with today's travel headaches, it never hurts to be extra covered. A lot of travel insurances now will cover your entire trip. So not just your cruise, but
The getting there, getting back.
getting back.
And a lot of them now can cover COVID as well. So
Yeah, if you get lost time because of COVID, or if you get super sick and you have to get off the ship, they can help you with medical in foreign countries. If you need medevac or airvac, that can be covered as well.
now more than ever, travel insurance is well worth the price.
And really, it's inexpensive. It's probably about 100 and something bucks for our family, for a week long vacation.
And if something was to go wrong, $100 is nothing.
It's a drop in the bucket. I mean, and you have
you get down there and get stuck with COVID and
$200,000 worth of medical coverage if you need it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
it's very, very much worth the money.
excellent. So, guys, what do you think? If you have other tips for first timers, leave them down in the comments, or find us on social and you can talk about it there. Definitely, if you want to see more videos like this or hear more info like this, you can let us know below. We're happy to create that content for you. What do you think there, Charles?
I think you've covered a lot of very, very good content today. If anybody has any questions or about anything that we have not covered.
Absolutely.
And breaking news, Miss Piggy was not turned into bacon for burgers. They are just refurbishing it. It will return shortly.
Thank you, Miss Piggy. Poor Miss Piggy.
I would have made
Kermie.
her So we will end on that note. Miss Piggy is alive.
Okay.
She's just getting a paint job. She's getting her nails done.
So, guys, thank you all for sticking it out with us here, listening to me yap, and
go watch our food and wine video. We just came back from Epcot.
Oh my gosh,
Kahlua pork sliders. That's all I'm going to say.
Food and wine was off the chain.
Go watch the video. Enjoy it.
That's a good date day. If you want to do a date day, go to Epcot. That was fantastic.
Food and wine was awesome.
Fun.
So
go watch that.
That's how I'm going to end the video. Kahlua pork
sliders.
Nothing more needs to be said. We're done here.
It's been magical, friends. We'll see you later. Bye.